Alright, we're back. Kerbal Space Program. The ApeLike Aerospace. Gonna load that baby up. And, yeah, we got a bunch of science last time, so let's see what we can unlock here. Wait a minute, did we get any new quests? Juno engine, I don't know about that. Oh, wait. Oh, that was loud. Let's see. Suborbital flight. We could probably do that. Make a rocket that just launches these people. But right now we have we should probably try to aim for orbit, I think. It's a quest we have. And we also want to get this science. There was science right here that we could get. I think there was science over here we can get. And there's one right here, this graviton. So I need... And I think that's the last one. Should be a total of 6. Yeah, this is the last one. If I can get to that one right here and get this gravoli detector thing, if I can get that, then I got to concentrate on getting to wheels. I need good rover wheels. Where are those? Down here? Did they move them? This them? Yeah, something like these right here. To be able to make a good rover. So to get that, I'm going to need to get some more science. And if I can get into orbit, I can do a bunch of crew reports from different biomes, which will give me a ton of science. I've already got some early space science. And I just unlocked 2 new science things here, except this atmospheric one only works in atmosphere. This is best used on the buggy that I'm going to make shortly. But this one we can get involved right now. The seismic. So, should we load up the last one and reuse that capsule? I don't think so. I don't think so. In fact, is there anything else that I want to add to this? Better battery. Ooh, I wanted this. I really did. Because it's a much smaller control unit. And this is going to be important when I start making... Yeah, I'm going to get that. Trust me, we'll get those points back. Fuel tanks. Much needed fuel tanks. Okay, we're on Ala 4, aren't we? Yeah, we are. So, Ala 4. We're aiming for orbit with this bad boy. Bad boy. No, ships are female. This is not a bad boy, this is a bad girl. Sexism and equal rights. Ships can be guys. This can be a guy. No, it's not. This is a chick. Totally is. Anyway, we need to add a parachute. So, parachute. Sorry, I've been smoking a little bit of pot, so I'm a little slow, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Parachutes. I like a lot of drone shoots, just to, not 8, 4. Separate those. And if we're just aiming for orbit here, I don't intend to collect any science. So I really don't need all this stuff, actually. This is just added weight. We'll keep the 4 drone shoots for better control on the landing. I think those are fine as is. They don't need to go anywhere else. Fire. Fire, fire! Again, I like to tap these with the control thing to put them at a more separate state, because they tend to kind of meld into the whatever they're above. They do it to the control box, they do it to the pod here. So we need control stuff. Decouplers. 12. Now we're going to need a fuel tank. Probably not an 800. Where's the 400? Am I missing something? Oh, it's right here. Engine. Okay, thrust to weight ratio in vacuum. It's going to be 139. 113 seconds. The most important thing is this. In fact, you can, we'll calculate this, say at altitude of 10K. Or, I mean, 10 kilometers. Right there. This has almost got enough to launch it. If I can just get above the 10K mark, I'll still get 1700 thrust to weight ratio. And going by this chart I have, and I'm going to put a link to the charts that I'm talking about. I have a couple like one's actually called a cheat sheet that lists all the thrust to weight ratios you need, the delta V. So I need 3,400 to get into orbit. And whatever numbers they say on there, I like to pad by like 400 or, you know, even 600. So I want to aim for 4,000 on this number right down here where it says 1,700. So I need to get more rocket going. Where is the delta V again? Right here. At sea level. See, at sea level, this doesn't even have enough to get off the launching pad. It does not have enough thrust to weight ratio to even move. But if I can get it into altitude, it starts picking up. It gets to 120 at 10K and 139 in vacuum. and that's really where the Terrier engine shines, is in vacuum. It doesn't cost a lot of fuel and is able to move all of this weight pretty good in space. Just doesn't do crap at sea level. You need launcher engines for that. So let's get rid of this Delta V and put us a launcher. This is going to take a second because I think I'm going to use a cheat sheet. One of these cheat sheets here has an engine calculator, and I'm going to use it. And I don't have my OBS set up to show you my browser. I would show you what I'm doing. I might figure that out in a future episode, but I will, like I said, I will link this calculator down there. It allows you to enter your payload and how much minimum total or delta V you're looking for. And once you do that, it'll give you a rocket configuration. Like right now, I can go in here and look at my weight for everything right now. Everything that you see right there is 4.4 tons. So I want to enter that on this chart. Payload 4.4 tons. And now for the delta V, I want 4,000. No, that actually I don't need 4,000 because I'm getting in atmosphere, or at altitude, I'm going to get 1,700 from this. So I need 2,400 or so. 2,400 delta V out of the bottom thrusters. So we'll put this at 2,400. See what kind of engine configuration it gives me. This might slow down the... I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do a whole long search. Find the one with the least amount of part count. There's a 15. Oh, there's an 11. Wait a minute, did I calculate this for in atmosphere? I didn't. I didn't add a local gravity. I've got to add that. And rerun. The search. Sorry, like I said, I wish I could show you what I was doing here, but trust me, this is going to pay off. Here, let me find one with the least part count. 15, there's a 14. Okay, so I need a T100 and a T400, 2 liquid Terriers. How do I do it? A bicoupler? We'll try it. T100, T400 bicoupler. T100, T400, a bicoupler. Do I have a bicoupler? Have I researched that? They wanted to do 2 Terriers. I don't have the bicoupler. Is there a way to turn that off? Yeah, I'm going to do a different one than that. Okay. I'm just gonna fucking go with it. We'll figure something out. I need 2400 thrust. So we'll start with this and see what it does. 1400. Nope, 1100. Not even close. Oh, there used to be a way to just copy and paste that. There is, but I don't know it right offhand, and I'm not going to look it up. One more. For good measure. Actually, I want to do it on an angle. Wait, that does it. That does the 2500. This might do it, actually. Could it be that simple? I think it is. I think it is. Except it's going to want to tumble, so I better give it some kind of stability. This is part of that. Fins. Really handy. Another thing I can do. Reaction wheel. Now, auto strut, heaviest part, root part, root part, root part. All the engines, the heaviest part. This thing's going to want to tip over. It's totally going to want to tip over. But I have to trust that there's enough gimbal here, the engine in there, and these fins, all that's going to work together to keep this thing straight enough to get us up where we got to go. Okay, engines, decouple, engine, couple, shoots. All right. Who's going to launch? I'm not going to hire another person. I think we'll go with Jebediah. Jebediah is going to try to be the first one to orbit. It is his turn after all, and can't just hire a Kerbal every time we launch a new launch. We got here that stuff. I think this is ready. Except it's not going to have any kind of electrical life support, which electricity is essentially life support. When you run out of electricity, you're screwed. And I don't have any ability to store it. 50 charge here, monopropellant. Wondering if I should try this. I can even clip this just a little bit. Put all the chutes again together again. Alright, that should give me a little bit more juice, but I'm still not going to be able to sustain up there because I have no way of regenerating power. Man, I should have just done a cargo pod underneath this thing. These are just going to fucking burn up. Gonna move these in just a little bit. I don't really like having these out here. But that should be alright as long as I control my ascent. The descent, I don't care if they burn up. It'll just be a little pop on the outside, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll be shielded from the... I think they'll be fine. The most important thing is it's not going to influence the aerodynamic performance of this thing during the launch. And that's what I worry about with those pods and stuff like that. When you put those on the outside of the ship, it has a tendency to make these things perform weirdly, especially if you only put one and you don't do a symmetry. It notices that in the dynamics as it launches. We got a crew. Will this be the first orbiter? Did I prepare enough? Is Jebediah going to be lost in space? We will find out on the next episode of This Is the Launch. Alright. So here we want to hit the stability assist on with the T button. The Z button to throttle all the way up so that we're ready to go. You ready to go, Jebediah? Verify your staging is all set. Looks good. I did not have any commands set up for action bars or anything like that. I'm not intending on doing any. If I get into orbit, I will be doing spacewalks to get experiments that way, but I am not going to be doing any other science this way. This is just to knock out that orbit contract, if I can get it, I hope. Alright, let's see. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. When you get to 50 meters, you can start tipping. Ever so slightly. You want to be really gentle with something this long and awkward, because it's easy to get this thing tipping. But you do want it going on a 90-degree heading. That is the way almost most orbits go successfully. Throttle the speed down just a little bit because I'm going a little fast. Okay, now that we're at 10,000 meters, I can start to tip over. But again, you don't want to go too much outside this yellow dot. You want to keep pushing it, but if you go too far in front of this, you could easily flip this thing. Turn on your mode here so you can keep an eye on your apoapsis. Once you get this into space, which hopefully I can do this, I don't know. The fuel's starting to look iffy. Try to get some forward speed here. You want to get down to about a 45-degree angle. Okay, my apoapsis is above in space, so I can kind of chill out because I don't want to waste a lot of this energy. In fact, I'm going to save it till I get closer to the edge of space here. I need engines to be able just to maneuver this thing to get it down. Okay, I'm going to blast these engines the second I hit space, just to get forward momentum. Here we go. Throttle down a little bit so that when you fire that. Now let's look at the map and see what kind of time we have here. Apoapsis is coming up. So I think we should start now. I want to get my periapsis and my apoapsis both above 70K, and that will be orbit. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do it, though. If this engine will have enough thrust, I can shut this off and just keep going like that. I still haven't reached the apoapsis yet, so I'm still... Yep, and here comes, it's coming down. It's coming down. I'm going to make it. Orbit. We are in orbit. 81 kilometers on the periapsis, 90 kilometers on the apoapsis. And now let's get these solar panels going. You can keep this up to keep an eye on that with your electrical charge. Because it does matter whether or not these things are actually facing the sun. And when you get around on the other side of the planet, it'll become an issue that... Let's do an EVA. Get him outside here. Remove his helmet. Not to be. EVA report. Nothing. So you can just keep doing this until you see the science actually come up. Just gotta make sure you don't hit that remove helmet. I'm gonna board because actually no, I'm about to go over land, so it would be good to do that again. EVA. Because see, it keeps saying over Kerbin waters, but eventually it's going to say over the shores. There, like right there, Kerbin's grasslands. Keep experiment, board. Then you can get back out and do it again. And EVA, EVA, grasslands again. We've already got the grasslands. We're looking for something other than grasslands that also gives points. Kerbin shores, we'll keep that one. Board. We just got 80. Another 80. I'm not going to mess around with it on the dark side of the planet. On the other side of the planet, we'll get a whole bunch of... Yeah. I'm going to keep the stability assist turned off so that we don't run it, because that'll cause the reaction wheels in here to be run, which will run down our electric charge. I'm going to give one more look. Yeah, I don't know what I'm over. I was just checking. It's more water. Most of the time it is going to be water. You can see a mountain over here. But I guess if I look at the map, well, you can't really tell. We're going to lose sight of Kerbin here shortly. I mean, thankfully I have full crew control, but when we lose the signal strength, it's just going to be us. It's going to be out of signal range for a little while. Jebediah's wife is going to be down there at home freaking out. They did a whole scene in Apollo 13 all about that, where they lost radio contact. I think that was actually a planned event in that mission, that there was a period where they knew they were going to lose, and it was just like something they just had to deal with. Like we're going to have to deal with, because I don't have the communication satellite network. But that's coming. That's kind of the goal here, is to develop these early technologies to get some satellites up there, and then we'll have communication and something that approximates geocentric, because it would be normally geocentric for Earth, but for here it's Kerbin, so it's geocentric. Geocentric means stationary over a position. It's going to be approximately that, because I'm not precise. I'm not precise with any of this. Like that launch there, as you can see, I just blasted off until I saw this number right down here go above 70K. I tried to make sure that I kept this one from going too high by keeping my nose down. That's when I dropped to the horizon, because I wanted forward, not up, momentum. And I'm sure you have an idea of this already, but what orbit is perpetual free fall. I am falling over the edge of the edge of the planet over here. I'm falling over that faster than than actually hitting. But yeah, it's just falling. It's just perpetually falling around the planet. I don't know what better. There's people. Neil Patrick Tyson Harris guy. He can explain it better than I could. But it's an interesting thing, like you speed up to go down and you slow down to get higher, and it's weird. It's all backwards. But once you get the kind of the hang of it, it's pretty cool. I could speed up time, but I've had bad luck with that without the ability to consistently recharge my batteries. Um, when you speed up time, this charge is going to start to go down. Watch. Maybe not. Maybe not. But still, I should be checking outside, and I can wait till I get to some light to do that, though. I'm approaching the periapsis, which is the lowest point in your orbit. Here we see we're coming around the planet. Okay, I should be coming over some land here. Get some desert and stuff like that. Look at the map here, see where we're at. Don't want to lose him to a bad EVA. We've got grasslands. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking when they're out there. There's the sun. And give us at least one more good EVA report. There's a few more to be had, but here, I'm not going to keep this going for very long. I'm going to land and take my... Because we're coming up on a spot that... Ooh, keep experiment. Highlands. Board. We're coming up on a spot that I'll show it to you. It's a spot on the geography that signals to me this is where I can thrust for a retrograde burn to come back down. See if I can do a little bit more EVA though before that. Nerve, nerve, nerve. Wish you could hotkey EVA reports, or just remove helmet from here. Oh, I think I did Kerbal Shores, didn't I? You know what? We're just going to start setting up for a return trip. So we'll turn on the RCS. And, okay, what it is you see this circle right here? If you're on like a below 1,000 or 100,000 kilometers, if you're below 100,000 kilometers on both your apoapsis and your periapsis, you can safely start your deceleration right about here, right about where the center of this eye is, and know that you're going to land just past Kerbin over here. You might want to go a little bit past it at the lower your altitude, the more you want to go past this to make sure that you clear those mountains in front of Kerbin. And it's also going to be kind of the dark side of the day when I do this too. I'm still going to do it. Once I get to right here or so, I'm going to start a deceleration. Get my periapsis. I want to get this periapsis below 30K. And then I'm going to drop right at 30K, drop the back engine there, and then come in like that. And then the atmosphere will do enough to slow me down. That'll put me right at a safe decline, or I don't have the right wording for all this stuff. I'm no engineer or rocket scientist. But I've got a big fascination with this stuff. My father is huge into astronomy. Grew up with the National Geographic magazines, and I'm right in that age group where I was in a home arts class when they brought in the TV and they did the Challenger explosion for all of America to see, ultimately all of the world, but we saw it live. It was a big event, 1984 or something like that. I was 13 or 12. Okay, I can probably speed this up just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do it around the edge of the rim on the far side because I want to make sure that I definitely clear the mountains, because that's a problem. If I do it like right here at the start of this eyeball, I will come down right into these mountains right here. There's mountains right behind Kerbal, and you don't, or the space place. But I do want to land in the water just beyond it, so I'm going to go to right about here, and that should be enough. Just a little bit past that. So, but I always use this eye as the geographical indicator. So I need to get retrograde. I do not have sight of Kerbal, so this is all done by pilot. I want to get this down to 30,000. Can also do it this way. Highlight that. Okay, here goes. Do a very light burn. You see that? So I have precise control over this, and I'm ready to hit the X button to stop. Get it to 30K, and then stop. Two, 31. good enough. And now you can go in here to this view, and we can decouple. Bye-bye. Now we just gotta... We actually have to pilot this, because there's no way to control this. I don't have a system on there to control this, so I'm going to have to keep this at retrograde the entire way down. I don't have to worry about it until we get below 70K here. Oh, you know what? I got the highlands. I didn't get the mountains. Board. Sweet. Now I'm going to be able to get some desert too. Turn the SAS back on. EVA. Where is he? Right here. Highlands I already got. Deserts. I want that one. Board. And I think that's enough. That's enough. I'm not going to test anymore. Because I got the mountains, the highlands, the grasslands. I don't think there's anything else to get in here. There's no tundra or anything like that. I got shores. I got over the water. I think I've got all of the low altitude EVAs I can get, because I think you can get a higher one above a certain height here, like 250K meters, something like that. You go into, that's high orbit. Right now I've got low orbit, and I think I've got everything that I need. I don't need to risk anymore. You don't need to go outside anymore, Jebediah. You've done a great, great service to everybody everywhere. Looks like we're back within range of Kerbal. We got a signal again. That probably makes you feel good, talking to your wife, Jebediah. I have to assume he has a wife. All astronauts have wives. I've seen the right stuff. It's a staple of every one of those movies. You know, the wife sitting at home, clasping her hands, praying to God. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna speed up time, at least until you know, my chutes are open. I I'm sorry, but that's just how I do it. I like to have full control over all this. I don't want to miss a second of it. I don't want to risk, you know, it's tumbling out of control. It's especially important once you get into atmosphere. Once you get below, like I could probably speed it up a little bit, but I would want to control it in time. I have mistimed it. I have crashed right into the mun, just lent right into it on an accidental speed up of time. We're aiming for no casualties, though. We want to bring Jebediah home, make him a legend, you know, so that he can attract a bunch of tourism, which is what this is going to do. This is going to attract a bunch of orbital tourists to our quest board. And we're at a good altitude going over this peninsula right here, because you know, if you're down in atmosphere when you go over this, you're going to have problems hitting those mountains over there, because the mountains, you're going to see them coming up over the horizon here in a second. These are what I was worried about, these mountains that are coming up, and you can easily slam into them. They are jagged peaks that just stick up right on your path back to the KSC. I wish I'd timed this. I don't have a way of timing these videos to see how long they are going to be, but I'm just going to go with my gut. Clear my throat. Here come the mountains right now. You can see the edge right here, this line. You want to make it over those. It's better to overshoot than to undershoot this. Overshooting gives you a lot of ocean, and then there's that little neighboring plot of land that we flew over in the last video. It's all safe. You just want to make sure you clear this, because this is just a wall. If you come down into it, you're dead. I lost a Valentina flight in here one time. Just tumbled right down the mountain. And now we are in atmosphere. So now I have to make sure that my center dot stays inside this yellow circle here. Try to do that all the way down. See what I mean though? Like if I would have came down too soon, I'd be coming into those mountains right now. It's better to go over them. Fly right over KSC, land in the ocean right on the other side. That's the perfect landing to me. And there are people online that are smart, that can do the math and land these things on a dime. I am not one of those people. It just everything I do is kind of winging it. And there's that program Jeb. I have never ever used it. I've never installed it, but I've seen it used, and it looks pretty fantastic. All right, we are suborbital. There's KSC down here, flashing. Yeah, this is going to go just smooth. And I don't think these panels are going to burn up at all. I think the ablator is going to take everything. And I should have plenty of enough chutes here. I've played this game enough to know how many chutes I need. Pretty good. But as we progress, some of the bigger stuff that we start making later in the future, I will have to do chute launches. Launches off just little short things to get it up in the air to see if the chute can actually handle the. And I do those autonomous. I don't put anybody in them. I have everything that I'm going to make in the future is going to have radio control. But first I have to get the satellite network in, and that's going to all be done with piloted people. But eventually I will get safety down to where I will almost never lose anybody, hopefully. No, I anticipate Kerbals will die, especially once I start making jets. That's why I hired that the other one. the first one to do space. I forget the name already. It's a lady. She I hired her because I'm going to need a bunch of those pilots. Once I start doing airplanes, I anticipate losing some dudes. Or gals. Equal opportunity murderer here. Yeah, see, nothing's going yet. Red. Those things are tucked in enough that they're behind the shield. Since we're going into the dark, I'm going to put this over land, just in case we start coming over land. Because it shows until you impact something. And this might be different than this. You know, one is sea level and one is the land below you. And they know there's land ahead here. Let me look at the map. Where are we at? Oh, we should be fine. I think we're coming down short of the land. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to be just fine. So we'll wait till this gets down to, you know, a reasonable level. It says white here, but I don't trust that. And once you lose your chutes, you're done. But I wait till about 5,000 meters. If I'm over land, it would be the same thing. I would look for over 5,000 meters. Can't see a thing down there, but you will start to see it the closer you get to it. It's amazing how it all kind of comes into view. Okay, I could probably open them now. Yeah, I'm going to open them at 6,000. And I'm also going to open the secondary one. And then I'm just going to hit the T button, which gravity will keep my ass down the whole way. And see how you can start to see the water. The closer you get, the more ambient light you actually see. Give some light. Sorry, Jeb. Don't mean to keep you in the dark. How far away is that land? It's over here somewhere. Yeah, see, almost got to it. Kind of see it over there. That's my neighbor guy over there that I like to launch missiles at. And that one should open up at 1,000. And that'll give me time to smoke a little bit of pot before we go back into their science thing and unlock some more things. Because we should have gotten enough science off of this to unlock at least one more science thing. Still, this is falling a little fast. I'd like to see this slow down some. I think this has a crash tolerance of 12, but I'm not sure about that. I think 7 should be safe. Under 7 meters per second should be safe. But still, this is... I'd like to have a little more shoot for this, I think. This is falling a little fast. Spooky. We're going to hit the water and blow up. I think we'll be fine, Jebediah, but next time I will do a parachute test. Before I launch you aimlessly into the abyss, you will know that your parachute's going to drop you safely at a 4.5 meters per second. Not this spooky as shit 6 meters. God, I'd love this to drop below 6 at least, you know, when I hit the water. So close. Maybe landing here will help. It's not. It's going to sink right into the water. Maybe brakes? Put some brakes on? Think that'll help? Nope, it's going to be 6 point something. I was hoping the atmosphere would get a little bit thicker. That's a little fast. It is. This is... Moment of truth. Hit a little heavy. But we're there. We made it. I don't think I can do any science down here. We'll do a crew report just for the hell of it. Nope, doesn't do anything. Recover vessel. Jebediah, welcome home. What kind of science did you bring us? He took a lot of selfies of him just floating around. 500. That's what we needed, wasn't it? That should have cleared up some of this contract stuff. Orbit goal. That gave us enough to get the last science thing, right? Where was that? Right here? Yeah, we want that. Alright, now I've got to figure out how to get these wheels right here. What kind of wheels do we have? Put these on there. I can afford those actually. I almost want to get this, and well, I'm going to have to get to there anyway. All right, let's see what kind of... All right. Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbal. You know what? I'll accept that. Atmospheric above. The surface, we checked that before. Parachute and flight, we've determined not to do those because we don't know the speeds. Flight below, flight below, flight below, flight below. Pressure readings, all below. Stedler Engineering, Jazul's Twilight. It's not here, it's going to be over here. Too far away. Where is it anyway? Here? Yeah. Yeah, way too far away. That was Stedler. Above, 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 above. No. In-flight, temperatures, minimus. You want me to go to minimus already? Are you high? He is. Aha, I'm super high. 6 passengers, suborbital. And a decoupler landed on the Mun. That would be interesting. Tempted to take this one. Except I've got a bunch of cash. And I've got missions. What do I got to do here? Orbital surveys, rendezvous, splashdown decoupler. Okay, Allah 4 was good, but it's time to move on. It's time to move on. I think I should work on satellites next, because I don't have what it takes to do. Although I do have more new science that I haven't done. Could aim for another science launch. But I actually think that's gonna do it for this. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. We did an orbit, and I'm just burned out with these headphones on my ears. Gonna do more tomorrow probably. I'm gonna do more of this for a while. I'm gonna at least, I guarantee you that before these videos are done, I will have landed on the Mun, landed on Minimus, set up a bunch of satellites. Going to other places, that's where it's gonna start getting tricky because I've never really done that. But a first time in this video, that'll be fun. So yeah, in the next one,